Good morning and welcome to Landry Amp's YouTube channel. Alright, we're going to do a comparison of the Lexi and the G3 on the distortion channel only. Now, there's a couple of things. Tubes. The tubes do make a difference. The Lexi in the power amp has JJ, just your regular JJ EL34s. My G3 right now has, I think they're JJs as well, KT77s. I put them in there a little while ago. A friend of mine told me I should try them out, and I actually like them. But here's the thing. They inherently have a little bit more top end. It's not like they're super bright, but they're just a little bit, the highs are a little different than EL34s in general, and they're a little bit more even in the mids. They don't have the standard or normal mid-range bump that EL34s have. And JJs, I think everybody knows what JJs sound like. They sound good in a Marshall style power amp. I don't have JJs. I think this one has one JJ in the preamp, but it starts with a tone sole just like that, V1. I think in V2 I have a JJ in this one, but then I have electro harmonics, and then the phase inverter in both amps is Sotec LPS. So they're not set up identical, but I think you can get an idea of the flavor, and I'll probably get around to switching, because one thing I like about my amps with the loop the way it is, I can play on this preamp as long as I have them both plugged into their own speaker cabinet, which I don't right now. I'll get to that in a minute. But if I have them each plugged into their own speaker cabinet, I can turn the master volume off on this one and use the connection in the loop to come out and then into the power amp of another amp. Of either one, I can do it either way. And hear what this preamp sounds like on that power amp. Right now I'm doing a demonstration of just the amps on one cabinet, and I have this AB switch, so the cabinet is on the switch. So we'll hear them both on that. Now I have the MIDI verbs in the loop of this one, but there's no effects selected, and I have the quadriverb in the loop of this one. So I can turn delay on if I want. If you're not familiar, the guitar is a mahogany neck and back with a maple top, like a Les Paul setup. Rosewood fretboard, same scale as a Les Paul. Doesn't look like a Les Paul, but this is my 24 fret Les Paul type wood setup. Okay, the pickups are WB custom pickups, Firewater set. So it's a pretty hot pickup, 13K-ish. I don't remember. I used to have it written on the back what the pickups I had in it, but I don't. Okay, what else? I think that's about all the knobs. These black knobs, I know they're hard to see on the video, but you can see the white ones. So here's where they're set. Both amps are set the same. We'll start with the gain control, is about 3 o'clock. Presence is about 2 o'clock. Mid-range is about 1. Bass is dined. This amp has a depth control. It's turned all the way up. This one doesn't have a control for the depth. It's just a preset value internally, and it's turned all the way up, basically. This is a channel volume. This one does not have a channel volume. It's a preset fixed value, which is the send for going out the loop. And then the master volume. Both amps have reverb, and both amps it's on. And then the presence is set just a little bit past 12 o'clock. On that one, let me turn it down. They're not the same. A little bit past 12. So the idea is to hear, I've had some questions as to, well, what's different about the Lexi compared to the G3? Well, to start with, the G3 is different than it used to be. And although I can't build them right now due to chassis issues, I will get back to building the G3. But one of the things that I learned when building this guy, I didn't want it to be, it's not a copy of the G3. The circuit is different, the preamp circuit. Power amp is almost identical. But a cool thing that I learned while building this amp, I ended up applying to the G3, and it improved the G3. So this is the first time anyone outside of me and my friend has heard this amp. So the way it is now. So we're going to do a little test, and I'll probably turn some knobs, particularly to show this new change that I did to the G3 that I learned by building this guy. It affects the tone step and how the treble and mid-range knobs interact. And if you own a G3 and you thought your knobs were very active to begin with, they're even more active. So it's more dramatic change when you change the treble and mid knobs. So anyway, let me get to making some noise here. What else I wanted to say? That's about it. Okay, so we're on the Lexi with the greenback cabinet. Here we go. Oh, I'm in the lower gain, just what I would call the crunch mode. And then I can go to the lead mode, okay? We'll see if it comes out on the audio, but the main difference that I hear between these two is the Lexi has more of a growl to it. Well, it's one of two main differences. There's the growl, and the voicing is slightly different, and the feel under the pick is slightly different. They're both very cool. I totally love both of them. But it kind of makes you just want to dig in and feel that pick and hear what it does coming out of the They're both really, really fun to play. For me, that's just a little more even, a little more processed sounding maybe. This has a little bit more of a rawness to it, even though it's a little, I want to say squishier. It's not squishy, it's just juicy, if that makes any sense. But boy, they both respond to the pick really, really well. They both make me want to dig in and go. But this has a raw growl to it that one doesn't have. Okay, so now while I'm on this guy, watch what the knobs do. All right, we're going to leave the bass where it is and turn the treble off. Turn the mids all the way up. It's like way louder. Put some delay on. I'm getting a drowned hum. I'm going to turn my volume off. I think I might have overloaded the mic there. Okay, I'm going to play with the treble now. Watch. I'm going to leave the mids, put the mids at 3 o'clock. And then I'm going to take the treble and move it from 0 and go up. Watch. It's kind of crazy, ain't it? The way that mid-range is so lively. Now let's go backwards the other way. Put the treble at 3 o'clock. Mid-range is off. Okay, I'm not going to try to play all the same stuff on that. I don't even know what I played. So we'll leave it at that. If you got any more questions, I love the questions. That's why I'm doing these videos, to try to answer some of the questions I get, because words only go so far. And so hopefully that demonstrated something. You know what I'll do? I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate playing the G3 into this power amp and we'll see the difference that the power tubes have. So I'll be back in a minute with that after I set it up, okay? Alright, I'm back. So what we have now is I'm plugged into this. I have nothing in the effector here. Nothing in the loop of the Lexi. So the way I'm hooked up is, I'll show you. I've got this amp's volume off. Let's see if I'm hooked up into the 312 with the G3. So yeah, so that's the G3 power amp and preamp through this guy. Turn that off, and I'm coming out the loop, and I'm going into the power amp of the Lexi, coming out of that cavity. All right, let me get the tone set on the Lexi like it is on that one. And we'll see what we got. There and there. Oh, well, what I'm hearing is it's not the power tubes making the difference. There is some difference there, obviously, but it is the preamp, and the circuit in the G3 is just a little bit, I would say, more processed sounding. You know, it doesn't have the growl, a little more evenly voiced. This guy sounds a little nastier to me, and I mean that in a good way. Still cleans up nicely here. All right. Well, again, like I said, if you got any more questions, shoot me an email, or shoot me an email, and or even in the comments of the video. Let me know what you want to know, and I'll see if I can get it for you. Okay.